say entrepreneurship is a journey, not a sprint. So in the year 2008, Making Moves has showcased over 150 young entrepreneurs across all 9 provinces. Bonke labo somabhizinisi basebenza kuma sectors adlulela ku-15 kwesimo somnotho sakuleli. Kule season we revisit some of these businesses to find out what moves that they've been making since our last visit. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you keep on moving. Making Moves, inspiring a generation of young entrepreneurs. Today on Making Moves, we revisit 3 entrepreneurs in the service industry. In Season 6, we met business partners Neliswe Fente and Realene Rorke of Springage, a consulting business based in Johannesburg. Today, they have managed to grow their business through their unique business model and have secured a lucrative deal with a major international company.
We've never looked at ourselves only as a consulting company, but as a collaborative organization.
First up, Lesego of Limitless Occupational Therapy Services based in Pretoria. Since being on Making Moves, Lesego has doubled her clientele, closed her Witbank branch, and she is officially Mrs. Matlala.
But luckily I've got a very liberal husband who's very supportive, so we share roles.
The global management consultancy industry has experienced major growth over the last 10 years. The global management and marketing consultancy market grew by 1.7% in 2008 to reach a value of $315.3 billion.
The thing with the service industry is that it is one industry that's very volatile.
Well, I think we are living in an information age, so that is like the biggest trade.
The service of selling information, I think, is getting there. The only thing is that we need to read more.
South African revenues in management and marketing consultancy market values were $442.18 million in 2008, representing a compound annual growth rate of 9.84%. The market decelerated by a compound annual growth rate of 2.7% for 2008 and 2013 to a value of $530.11 million by the end of 2013.
Hey, but to be passionate, I guess you really have to care about the next person in order to, to execute such a business,
Occupational health services in South Africa have developed in diverse settings. These include need for health services in remote settings.
The service industry, you are resolving problems. You're coming with solutions. You're selling time. So you always have got to convince the client on to make that purchase, on to buy that. And that borders around innovation, borders around relationships that you've established, borders around how well are you managing your resources.
Limitless 3 years ago. Back then, business lakhe lalisantenga kuyena nodadewabo babesebenza kulona. Babe nama branches eindaweni ezintathu. Ibranch khona lapha ke ePitori, ibranch eWitbank, nebranch eNelspruit. Izinto seziguqukile. Where's I Making Moves? Kwathola izingcebiso eziphuma kona ke ama coaches wethu. Izinto njengamanje ngizwa kuthiwa ke useqashe nabanye abantu. Business has taken a turn for the better. Ake sizwe ukuthi what moves did she make to make sure ukuthi business lakhe liyathuthuka.
Lesego Madala, born in Kopis and raised in Soshanguve, Pretoria. I'm an occupational therapist by profession. I'm married, I'm a wife, mother, looking forward to my new bundle of joy. And I'm very passionate about community development, and that's why I'm very involved in the Be Empowered movement, which is geared towards the development of the youth in townships.
How are you, stranger? I'm good. Long time?
Good to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you staring at my tummy?
No, last time we were Send Babi manje.
Yeah, no. It's been a long time.
Yes.
It just goes to show.
On 26 September 2015, one can never hope for a better wedding. We had, I don't know how many people, that came from all over the country, some from outside the country. We're blessed by the First Lady of the Republic. She came in, Mange Mazuma, and all of our friends were there, It was a perfect wedding. If there's a term again, it was a perfect wedding for us.
So how is married life right now, since you are a wife, a married woman?
Yeah, well, having to balance everything, it's a bit of an adjustment. Yes. But luckily, I've got a very liberal husband who's very supportive. So we share roles. Yeah. There's no hurry. We're not we're not waiting. So yes. It's, I'm adjusting quite fine.
Yeah. No. Growth in the family now since so years.
Yes, we can't wait. We can't wait for our little bundle. Yeah. And that has been something that has really had, that made me change the way I do things, the way I operate, because I have to slow down, do the important things first, because now I can't do everything the way I used to, so it was a bit of an adjustment.
No, I can't. Please take a seat.
You take a seat.
All right. Tell me a bit about the wedding day. How was it?
Oh, it was awesome. Yes. It was magical. We had a all-white theme, live band. Yes. Our MC was just on point. Mariki, Mariki, she speaks Zulu, Sotho, so my family loved her. And the wedding day, it was just perfect.
It was perfect. Are we down guy?
It was so emotional to watch. the last time when you came to visit at the interview, but he's around. Kihudilele, Batswadi Baka, and my older brother and my younger sister.
As a baby, it was nice to actually play with her. Sometimes I used to tease her, in fact. I would make her cry and all those things. Those were happy times.
At the age of 13, my father gave me Alarisia. After that, my brother and my younger sister only. And then at the age of 17, yes, then Mewaka Olarisia Lien.
I then became the head of the family.
From teenagehood, I was raised by my brother.
These days, we're aiming to relax house activity.
I still see my friends. We still, we love going out to try different things all the time. I just don't see them as often because now, I have other responsibilities, but we still have a lot of fun. I have a very soft spot for my friends before my parents passed, because they carried me. They got pocket money. My first phone. Metric dance. They paid for my metric dance.
What is your motto in life?
Do everything with love and light. If everything you do is governed by love, or you intend to express love to others, and also to bring enlightenment to others, then most often you will succeed, because the journey no longer just becomes about you. Other people's lives depend on your success. So that's always a motto that's worked for me in my life.
Let's start where everything begins. Take me through and show me the whole place.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
When people say limitless, when people talk about limitless, does it explain what Limitless actually does? So you need to think about how the brand is gonna, be received wherever you plant it, and how you can grow it from there.
founder and director of Limitless Occupational Therapy Services, and I'm also the principal occupational therapist in the company. So Limitless Occupational Therapy Services offers an array of services, but we primarily are experts in the medical legal field, where we do assessments for road accident fund claimants, and also people that have sustained personal injury and are represented by attorneys. Yeah, this is my office.
Yes, ma'am.
And we already have a client for today. You can have a seat.
Hi.
Hi, Katli, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Yo, Ethan. How you doing?
Good, and you?
Nandi.
So usually here we don't, each OT session must happen, it's confidential. So
Yes.
you literally can't be in on someone else's session. But Katli was so kind today. He said no, he wants to show off his skills today. So
Okay.
at least he has an audience.
No, tell him what.
I have one assessment for you. So we call this the TPAL work. It's a TPAL work sample, and it requires visual discrimination, numerical discrimination, and we are going to time you on it. Okay, so you basically have a look at that. You look at the number, then you must sort all of these cards. The number must correspond with the numbers there. Then you sort all of them, and then we see just how quickly you are able to process visual information and numerical sorting.
Let's not waste this man's time.
Yes.
Azish, watch out.
I'm so curious as to how he will fare.
I think the session will help me because when I get the results, I'll be able to see whether I'm good at any of these games and how these games apply to the real world and how I can use these skills to go forward. I think it is important to consult an OTP because it highlights your weaknesses and your strengths in your personality, and it also helps you see where you do well and where you wouldn't do well. And that will help you lay out how you want to study and where you want to move and pair that with your interests and see whether it's practical or not to go into the field that you want to go into.
I know last time when I was here, it was you and your sister go businessing. Now I see there's more people and, there's growth. What inspired growth here in the business?
Sure. The more, we really worked on our systems as we got feedback from our mentor, Mr. Ramapakela.
When people say limitless, when people talk about limitless, does it explain what Limitless actually does? So you need to think about how the brand is gonna, be received wherever you plant it, and how you can grow it from there.
Is she ready for 3 branches? Because she's running Nelspruit, Witbank, Pretoria, and she's trying to divide her time
into
as
all
a
3.
therapist and a manager and an entrepreneur.
Yes. Okay.
Is she ready for that?
No, not yet. What I would do, if I were you,
Okay.
2 branches close. Create systems in the 1 branch, so therefore you've got a formula to multiply.
How can I not do with both?
How can you know?
I'll do that.
Okay, no, the 2 of you. Sometimes what you're doing is you're just preparing yourself to go and do a national rollout. And his fear is that if you roll it out with bits and pieces, without a solid base, it's going to unravel.
We closed down the Witbank branch, for financial reasons, but we then developed systems in the Nelspruit branch. So even there, we have the admin is full-time, but our consultant OTs, the ones that are here, the 3, they also service that branch. So it no longer needs me to move up and down all the time.
Yeah.
So this is our admin and finance area.
Yeah.
So all the administrative things, client liaison, data capturing, it happens in this side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's quite a huge step up from the last time in New Zealand. You and your sister.
It was just
handling
my
your game.
sister. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Working for my sister is very interesting. Get through her. Relationship at work between Nalo Osaka is very professional. When we're in the office, we're in the office. When I submit the report, she's expecting them to be Katila 8 things.
One of the things that you were concerned about was building Limitless to be a brand that will stand on its own without you being there as well. How far are you from that?
Well, we are very, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, we are at 7, which is a good number.
Hey, not too shabby, 7.
Yes,
Yeah.
because from the groundwork now, the staff that we work with, the people that we hire, we know exactly what kind of skills we're looking for from the people, you know. Not that we, to create a duplication of me, no. Duplication of the skills that are required in order to make sure that our output is as if I was just the only one doing that.
After ngithole ukuthi udinga umuntu ozoassessa ngabona ukuthi ngoba vele siyazana soba ne relationship eshapho ngathi ngi-apply ngafika ngaqala ukusebenza la ekhaya before lokho bengisebenza kwe-CNDF e-1 mil. Lesego right if wenza right. Obviously ayekho umuntu ongaba nice kuwe if ungenzi isibani sakho sharp. Into nje ayidingayo ukuthi i-output yakho ibe kwi-level e-right and then umuntu right and uyakwazi ukuguide. Akusiwo umuntu mhlambe ifuna problem noma udinga usizo uzobe elokhu ekuthethise wona. Uyakwazi ukuguide through all the levels.
One needs to understand you are in business for profit. So that's the first thing. Even if you're looking at the people and growing the people and that should not happen at the expense of the profit in the business.
Lucas Moloi is the founder and CEO of the Chunto Group, a black-owned company with interests in property, entertainment, and consulting. The champ, as he is popularly known, has addressed delegates from blue-collar workers up to the executive of various organizations across the globe. He is an author of 4 books and an avid blogger. He carries valuable experience in entrepreneurship, a passionate speaker of note who leaves no stones unturned, minds unchallenged, and hearts unchanged.
This is the exciting room.
Yes.
Where all the physical tests happen, the functional capacity tests happen. And Becky, he's our full-time occupational therapist. Yes, and he does all these physical tests. You can see the stairs, the weights, the reach. So a lot happens in here.
Business lona ingabena liyayenza.
Hona jwale hobane se re hirile batho ba bangata.
Yes.
Profit teng mara ha e soka e ba focus ya rona that much more than hore re develop a business. So re batla make sure batho ba rona ba gola hantle and then ba na le medical aid o ba ke focus ya rona hona jwalo.
One needs to understand you are in business for profit. So that's the first thing. Even if you're looking at the people and growing the people and that should not happen at the expense of the profit in the business. Because then if the profit in the business is limited, that growth will also be limited. Those opportunities she's wanting to create for the people will also be limited. So the profit should still sit at number 1.
I remember back then, part of your expansion plan, branches. Is that still the case, or now you've got a new expansion plan, something else that you're focusing on, njengamanje?
So at the moment, it's not so much about the other branches than it is to maximize the service offerings that we have right now. So we want to make sure that the wellness department is operational on its own, that the medical legal department is operational and grows even within here. But I also now have other business ventures. So it's not just occupational therapy anymore, but other branches will come once we've ensured that the departments are rona tsena kaofela di khona ho ikemela di khona ho iketsa profit tsa yona ha ona hore medical legal e supporta employee wellness kapa the other way.
In the growth of the business, there's two things that you grow in the business. It's either you grow the clientele of the business or you grow the service offering to the clientele that you already have. Now, the one that seems to be most effective all the time is giving more services to the clientele that you already have, because already they understand the service offering, they understand what the company has got to give them, they understand where the company is coming from, the culture of the company, and that they are already the clients to the business. Now, if you go the route of looking at more of their needs and including this product to look at a turnaround product offering in the business, so you're giving them the full care of services, and that is an easy way of growing the business. And this is the route that she has taken, and this is bound to be successful.
When business grows, nama challenges now ahlale ekhona. Ama challenges enibhekene nawo ke ngalesi sikhathi la kwa Limitless athini?
So hona jwale hobane medical legal department ya rona e se ikemetse tlamele re etse bonnete ba hore re ntse re fa service eo ya good quality, and re khona re hodisa le yona re maintain mara hape ho tlosa focus mo ho fa wellness 100% focus ke yona challenge e santsane re na le yona hobane di resources kaofela tse re di beileng hore re hodise medical legal tlamele jwale re shift re khone ho establish di departments tsena tse ding tse ntse re di etsa. So ke yona challenge hona jwale, mara ha ntse nako e ya re hira batho ba bang, re improve the system, ke sure hore re tlo e fihlela.
Now, from this, what we see again is that the challenge that is coming out, it becomes the challenge of capital for this expansion. So you're sitting in a point whereby you want to expand, you're introducing the services and that, but the capital is only allowing you to do that. Now, this is where it goes back to asking the question to say, is it now perhaps the right time to bring in partners in the business? Should I be finding someone who really compensate the services that I have already? So if someone compensates the services that I have already, if someone comes in and matches the services that I'm doing and can be able to bring capital in, maybe it is the right time now for her to partner.
Thank you very much for isikhathi sakho. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Athi sithetele na lensizwa le ne consultation ezayo. Please walk me out.
Thank you so much.
Ama-social entrepreneurs abantu abaqhamuka namasu ahlukahlukene ukusiza umphakathi uma ngabe kunenkinga ababhekene nazo. Namhlanje ngizohlangana nalabo sisi ababili abasebenza kuwona lo mkhakha lona kwama-social entrepreneurs. Banothando olukhulu kakhulu ukusebenza kuwona lo mkhakha, futhi bayebethanda ukuthuthukisa futhi nokusiza umphakathi uma ngabe unenkinga obhekene nazo. Mhlawumbe usabakhumbula abaphathi benkampani ebizwa ngokuthiwa iSpringage. Ngalesa sikhathi sigcina ukuhlangana nabo ku-season 6 babesebenzela kwenye indawo. Izinto-ke manje seziguqukile njengoba nawe uyabona ukuthi ngilapha eDeloitte eSentini. Lapho ke khona ibhizinisi labo linzinze khona ke njengamanje. Into ngifuna ukuyazi ukuthi ke yini ke into esebeyenzile ebhizinisini labo since the last time kagcina ukubabona. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Long time, ladies.
Long time indeed.
It's been a minute.
And a half.
Yeah, let's start with you, eh? Marriage?
Yes, sir.
Additional to the family?
Yes, sir. I've been very busy.
You've been very busy. Talk to me. How has that been?
Yeah.
Marriage, addition to your family? How's it
Yeah, no, it's been a wonderful year. It's been a wonderful time. So I got married about a year ago now.
Nice.
And I've got a little one. She's 8 months old. A new addition to the Springage family because she's everywhere with Springage.
Yeah.
The youngest member. And still carrying on a lot of awesome work with young people and of course doing big things with Springage.
Yeah. How are you managing to keep up with everything? How has that changed you as well?
Yes, so I think that's been the biggest thing is kind of getting this new reality, you know. I've always been quite good with time management and stuff, but this is stretching me.
Yeah.
But what it has done is, you know, you dream more, you want more.
Yes.
So I feel very, very quite ambitious. I feel very motivated at the moment. You look at the little one, her name is Nyla, by the way, Nyla. And, you know, you look at Nyla and you say, oh my gosh, I wonder what you're going to be. And so you dream for her, you dream for yourself. And so that, you know, the big dreams have kept me busy because now you start getting involved in much more things.
Oh, it's coming to America.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Oh my God. Yeah, so last year I got the opportunity to be part of the Mandela Washington Fellowship, which is President Obama's flagship program of the young African leaders. It was a phenomenal experience for me. Like, where can I even start about talking about it? But one of my biggest takeouts about going there was just the confidence that the people there had on us as young Africans to be able to create a space for us to collaborate and work together. And I was in the business and entrepreneurship track, and that was really, really nice because we got to understand how people in America run their own businesses. And I think a lesson that I'd probably want to share a little bit of is the one around failure. You know, like we go in America and everyone was asking us, Uti, what have you failed before? You know, and we're like, hey, we're not coming from a place where we can talk about failure, you know. But everyone there, before they get money from investors, they have to prove that they've failed businesses before. And that was something very different from us. And I think a big mindset change to say, you know, try something. And if you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's just a learning lesson, you know. So, yeah, that was good.
I like that. Makhosazana, ngaphandle nje ukuthi usushadile unomndeni uye phesheya kwaba kuhle okuningi okufundile nangale phesheya kwezilwandle. What has been personal growth yenu nobabili?
Okay, so yeah, I think for me now, my personal growth has to be the one about having more confidence in myself and confidence in our continent. You know, for me now, Uguti, listen to zonke engizenzayo ziyahlangana somewhere. You know, so yeah, if I could have to give it one word, it would definitely be confidence in myself.
Good.
Yeah.
Right?
In this last year, a lot of dreams have come true for me. My family, our business, and what we're about to talk about. One of the dreams I had was to write a book, and I never ever got to do it. And this year we published the Africa 80 book, launched on Africa Day. And those are little dreams that are just, you know, so I guess the biggest learning is that yes, all dreams can come true, and you don't have to pick one, and you can enjoy all of them. So, yeah. It's possible. It's all possible.
Ngiyabona sisendaweni esihlukile sisesentini at Deloitte la ngizwa khona ibhizinisi lisebenzela khona. Shall we go inside to talk about that?
While when one looks at an acquisition, you're looking at a company that is coming and becoming part of another. So meaning that the systems in the company are going to become, or you're going to use the systems of the companies that is acquiring you, or the company that is acquiring you becomes sort of a boss now in the whole process.
We are the co-founders of Springage, and Springage is a youth-led innovation consulting company that brings together young people of uncommon connections into a space to come up with new ideas and insights for challenges that different corporates might have.
And we do this by cultivating and growing a network of young people across the world. We bring them into a unique process called a spring break, where they collaborate on their ideas and come up with solutions that we can then take to the corporate space.
Welcome to the greenhouse, yeah?
Can I grab your water before we start?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Ray. Yeah.
Makhosazana, ngaphambi kokuthi sixoxe kabanzi ngala simo khona nokuthi nifike kanjani lana eDeloitte. Sacela sixoxe kancane about Springage and what has been happening since the last time ngagcina okunibona.
Sisi, you're welcome to the Springage office. This is where we are.
Thank you very much. A nice, young, vibrant space.
Absolutely.
According to my knowledge, you guys are in social entrepreneurship. That means, you approach corporates and you give them ways that they can move South Africa forward.
Yes.
Please just elaborate on that, because that sounds like a mouthful to me.
Come up with ideas for corporates, but it's really corporates that want to build something new, something fresh, that want to be part of building South Africa, and that's what Springage is all about. So we use quite a structured innovation process to help them do that. So first, it starts with a question. A corporate organization will have some sort of curiosity, maybe they have a challenge. They might say, well, we in security, we're looking for new solutions to take security to a township, for example. But they need different kind of people to think up those ideas. That's where Springage comes in.
Yo, Sia, we've learned so much from the last time that you've seen us. We've had such great clients. So we've worked with different clients, Woolworths, or Liberty, some clients and we really understood the business critical part of our business, not just asking questions about how can we take our country forward, but how can we take our country forward with these clients that we're working with. So that has been very big for us. And also we've productized. So if you remember the last time when we went for the interview, we were asked about how do we productize and what can we do differently as Springage.
Practically, Navasha, what do these ladies need to do?
Firstly, as I explained to them, they are the brand and they need to be the champions of their own brand. So they need to go out there and be spokespersons for the brand. And one of the ways that we could do that is actually profiling the good news stories and profiling their case studies and the projects that they have done in the media, to business publications and specifically to their youth publications. And getting the brand out there. Let's start talking about this.
What we learned was that, we've learned so much about working with young people in our spring breaks. How can we package that and sell it to other clients and say, this is how you can work with millennials, this is how you can work with young people that are already within your working environment. So, yeah, it's been a lot of that, It's been a lot of that.
Back then, ukuthi ama-client bayeza kini and they'll say, what, sifuna maybe isombululo to into kanje na into esinenkinga ngayo, you guys would get together nabantu abasha, come up with solutions and whatnot, but bese abantu involved with implementation stages.
Why are you struggling to get companies to get to the implementation phase?
I think one of the reasons is because companies don't know how to innovate within themselves. So they are stifled by their own red tape and they don't know how to start new things. So we try and encourage them to start new things and to try it. They're not agile. Big businesses are big, slow machines. And I think that's probably one of the reasons. And maybe from our perspective, it's us being able to speak the business language with the client and be able to say, if you do this, this is what's going to do, in terms of the language that they understand.
To work around that.
We have. Our strength is in the collaboration space, is bringing those minds together. So we said, let's focus on that strength. Let's hone in on that niche and be great at it. But who else, because we say collaboration is the way we work, who else can we collaborate that is good at the implementation phase of it? Because at the end of the day, the insights and ideas are awesome, but we want to even commercialize these ideas that come out of it. And Deloitte has that reputation globally, actually, in the power of how they're able to take a challenge, strategize around it, come out with business cases that make a difference and that make business sense. So it was a no-brainer for us to start the conversation with them. And I think it started with let's join venture. How can we collaborate? So we didn't even dream that it would get to a point like this, where we now are physically working together in a more sort of united way. And that's how we've addressed that challenge. So yeah, we'll be building banks and all kinds of things.
You're like greenhouse then,
Yeah, but greenhouse then, this is where the different companies come to innovate and come up with new ideas. And you know, we're in a fast-moving world, and people have to come up with new ideas, right, for the companies. And this is a really great space that Deloitte has created for companies to do that.
So Deloitte is a professional services firm. We are one of the largest professional services firms in the world. 220,000 people, global revenues, $35 billion. We've got a business in South Africa, which is part of the Deloitte Africa business, which is 15 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. The Deloitte business is well known to the market for its audit services, but it's actually audit, risk advisory, corporate finance, tax and consulting. I'm excited about the fact that we are attracting two dynamic young ladies into our business, and I think they are great role models for, I think, A, black talent, and secondly, for women in leadership. I think I'm quite excited about the opportunity that Springage presents, and I wish them all the success, and I hope that they are profoundly successful in our organization.
So, ladies, ngiyazi ukuthi nike nenza umsebenzi for i-client lenu elelibathi. So siqale nichazele kabanzi umsebenzi onjani lo benibenzela wona?
So no Liberty, you know, they had a question. Challenge was about education in South Africa and what kind of innovative educational solutions could we come up with. They've started a thing called the Liberty Community Trust, which is a standalone actually from Liberty, and saying we've got this money to invest in education. What is the most innovative way, the most relevant way that it can meet the needs of a young South African? So it was a great challenge because we're moving South Africa forward. Here we have a chance to impact young people's lives very directly. So that was the project.
Manje ayisixoxeni ngala sime khona ke njengamanje iDeloitte. How did the move come about?
I think one of the things that we found quite interesting about Deloitte is that they're always wanting to understand about the future. You know, they're very futuristic in the way that they think. So I think part of them was also them thinking about the future of consulting. You know, what does the future of consulting look like? And Springage, we've never looked at ourselves only as a consulting company, but as a collaborative organization. So I think the conversation the meeting of minds happened at a point where we knew that we are about collaboration, you know.
Now, Makosazana, sila namhlanje sime eDeloitte. Did you at any point in Kabanguti nakhe into ezokwazi ukuheha inkampani enkulu kangaka ukuthi people would say hayibo Makosazana sicela ukuthi sike sithenge nathi la company yenu?
We didn't think it would happen.
Yes.
But somehow
we built it in that way. So there is a thing that says when you're building a company, you have to understand your exit strategy. You have to understand where is this thing going. Are you building it big? And when that opportunity comes to sell it, are you ready for it? So I remember in our heads, we had a thing where we said, let's build to sell. We didn't think we will sell. We didn't know who we would sell to. But there was, I suppose, like a subconscious thing that said, if we had an opportunity, we must be ready for it.
And you know, Sia, what's been really interesting is that it's not something that just happened like a few months ago. So the conversation with the likes of Greg Lister from Deloitte has been for about like 1.5 to 2 years, you know, speaking about how this thing will really look like. So really trying to figure out where we're going to be meeting each other. So it didn't take overnight. It had to be a thorough process of really understanding if the direction in which we're going to is the best direction for both parties.
So, no, I want this in Jagunagaling overnight.
No.
Okay.
I was involved in a conference at Gordon Institute, and I was talking on the subject of collaboration. And Realene actually approached me afterwards and said she'd love to learn more about how we approach innovation. And we got talking from there, and it soon became very clear to me that she was part of something very exciting, and that Springage had a unique and very interesting way of engaging with corporate South Africa and the youth of South Africa as well. They've got an amazing way of engaging with people. They are very alive to their country and the people they're dealing with, and also have a really good feel for how to frame some of the issues that we see in our country. And when I saw that and we got talking about some of the work that they've done already with some big clients in South Africa, I became increasingly interested.
That transaction was well thought of because if we're not sharing the same vision, because that's the first important thing, are we sharing the same vision? Are the values aligned? Because if the values are not aligned, the measure or even the acquisition is going to be difficult.
Makhosazana, kulesi sigaba lesi business this is la khona ke sihlale sixoxa khona ngama challenges nosoma business laba ngibavakashela. But ke knowing ukuthi nina ke manje senihamba kolunye uhambo olusha nezinto futhi sesiguqukile ebusinessini leni. So sixoxe ngokunye nje kuseceleni. Kunina at any point ningacabanga ukuthi yazini sizofuna ukulidayisa. Uma ngabe nifuna ukulidayisa yini into enicabanga ukuthi niyenzile yaba right ukuze ukuthi mangabe sekufika leso sikhathi sokuthi you guys want to sell, yonke into izobe right?
I think the first thing about thinking about selling your business is not about actually uyayithengisa and you're giving it away.
Yes.
That's not the thing. The thing is about thinking about who is going to work with you to be able to take it to the next level. If you think about how people sell their businesses, it's in that kind of way. To say, Yazini, there are some places where I'm feeling a gap and there's somebody else who can help me ukuthi to the next level. So this is how we look at selling. And I think Deloitte by kanjalo nabo ile ndawo yokuthengisa ukuthi what is it that we can do as a company that's been around for years to be able to take you guys to the next level? So that's one. And the fact that nasi sifuna ukukhula, you know, as entrepreneurs, you've got each other. You look at each other all the time, but sometimes you need other people. It's like having a baby, right? I think. It's like having a baby. And umntana khona is gonna go out and flourish in the world. They're gonna interact with other people. They're gonna meet other people, and they're gonna be growing to be something else that's not you. So, and that's how we've looked at our business. It's this baby that we are taking out to the world to be able to flourish.
To the world,
it's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift to the world. So in terms of selling, that's how we look at it.
While when one looks at an acquisition, you're looking at a company that is coming and becoming part of another. So meaning that the systems in the company are going to become, or you're going to use the systems of the companies that is acquiring you, or the company that is acquiring you becomes sort of a boss now in the whole process. So when an entrepreneur is going through this route of selling a business, one needs to be sure, what is it that I want for this business and what type of a transaction is going to work for what I want to achieve for this particular business. I think at that end, that's what is most important for this part of their journey.
Uma ngabe kuzeni ukuthi sekumele nizofuna ukudayisa. Iziphi mhlawumbe izinto that you guys looked out for that made you guys say, you know what? Deloitte abantu aba right esifila ukuthi singabadayisela ibusiness lethu abantu engasebenzisana nabo.
I think one of the things that we looked at is that what do they stand for? And at Springage, we were all, the reason why we started was to be able to make an impact in our country. That's why. You know, besides Tengisa, whatever, our why we started is really linked to what they believe in and why they're doing the things that they're doing. So you look at those things, you're like, what do these people stand for? Does it align? Nala. So I think the vision.
That transaction was well thought of because if we're not sharing the same vision, because that's the first important thing, are we sharing the same vision? Are the values aligned? Because if the values are not aligned, the measure or even the acquisition is going to be difficult. So we're looking at things like, you know, do we believe in the same thing? Do we stand for the same thing? Our clients, because remember now, the clients have have become also part of the family of this business. We need to look at, is the alignment of processes. Is it not going to be too much of a change for the employees from one end to another? Is it still the same business, the same values that is going to make this whole transaction a little bit safer for them? Are they going to be able to really go into it easy, merge into it and grow into it? And because you don't want a situation where when you sell in the business, then you start having a high staff turnover because people cannot align with the partner.
You guys come from an environment like when I big week to me and ngiyakhumbula la sami ngivakashela lokuyinobabili nabanye abosisi abawu2 futhi ifreedom bekuyini nje bengikhona yazi niphethe indawo. Now you're moving into a corporate space.
Yeah.
Angabe nani ready ukuthi nizosebenza in that corporate environment yabona ama dress codes washintsha ngenyanga sekunobu serious these days. Are you also ready for that?
I think it's exciting for us,
yes.
right? Because we've had the discipline to be able to do it ourselves, right? And what's exciting is that you're going to have other people that are wanting to build something with you. So it means when Realene and I are just like thinking about ourselves, there's somebody else who's also thinking about this thing, which makes it really exciting. It is scary at the same time, I must admit, because you're used to just like your own times, your own, your own thing. But at Deloitte, the way we've seen it, right, is that it's about your work. It's about what you can bring. It's not about so we're not going to sweat the small things. So it's exciting, and it's also it's a new environment. It's a new environment.
And Deloitte was once small, so even as an entrepreneur, it's wonderful to be in a big company like this to see it's also grew in its own. So we're going to learn personally how to grow a big company, maybe, So if they were once small, we are small. Can we learn something from it? And they grew this big because of the structures they have. So I don't think it'll harm us. And we have each other to complain.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good.
And the way things are happening at the moment is great. They're joining an organization that has got systems. They're joining an organization that has got a standing client base, which is giving an opportunity for growth for them as the organization, and this team dynamics and all the small little things and that need to be tied so that we get in that organization that is going to be successful, that is going to work. But as things stand, in that, I think a great move, opening up a space for the organization, creating an environment and a platform for growth for the organization. And once this are tied in, and it looks like they understand these things that needs to be tied in, and this is going to be a great growth for Springage.
Thank you, Making Moves, for coming back and visiting us and seeing where we are today.
Yeah, I mean, the first time you guys were here, we were still like really at our startup phases, learning about our business, and now we're at the next level, working with big corporates such as Deloitte. So we're really excited. So thank you.
Thank you.